The Russian Empire was bald. Look at this landmass. That's like 1/4 of the earth almost. It looked like, doesn't it? Oh, are you there? Are you zoomed in? Okay. Austro-Hungarian Empire. You see that? Then you got Germany. Then you got France. You got Italy was trying to play. Italy was actually at the time an ally to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and they laid low. They played neutral, and then came in and got drawn and came in on the Western power side, and ended up. They only came in on the Western power side because they wanted some territory of the Hungarian Empire. All right, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But anyway, this is the kingdom whose archduke was assassinated. Germany was their ally. All right? Okay, read that again, brother, about verse 2.
Verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit.
Now, when he said the bottomless pit, it's talking about that region. The reason it's called the bottomless pit is, let me say this. What do you think gave rise to the desire and the need to create each one of them? Having created each one of them, when I say one of them, I'm talking about each one of the powers of Europe had created the kingdoms, the empires of Europe had created a colonial empire. They created a colonial empire that spanned from the west all the way to the eastern hemisphere to the extreme east. Okay? So when it says the bottomless pit, it's talking about that region because the need that led these countries or these empires to create colonial empires was because they had no mineral resources to play. When it says, it's like imagine yourself with a shovel. Imagine yourself with an excavation team searching for minerals, searching for gold, searching for resources. What does Europe have? Europe don't have nothing. That's why it's called the bottomless pit. You know, let me say this. They get their natural gas and their oil from Russia, and all the other things that they got, they get imported. So when it says the bottomless pit, it's not referred to a place in the earth where you could throw a rock down and you never hear it hit the bottom. It's talking about concerning resources, concerning what the earth has to offer there. There's very little or even nothing in most areas. So that's the bottomless pit. And that's when it says the smoke rose, it's talking about that. Behind that event of the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914 in Sarajevo, Serbia, the place erupted in war. So when it says the smoke, it's talking about from the warfare that was taking place. Read on down,
verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit.
In other words, this place began to burn. Smoke is talking about from the bombs, from the warfare, from the fighting that was taking place. Go ahead.
As the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and air were darkened.
Just like in certain parts of Afghanistan, in certain parts you saw during the whole time that the bombing of Baghdad in March of 2003. The first invasion of Kuwait for days on end, weeks on end, the skies were dark just from the bombing and from the burning of the oil wells. It's the same thing with the First World War. Go ahead.
And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Go ahead.
And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth.
Now when it says locusts, let me show you something. Take your time getting here. But it's talking about the biplanes. The biplanes, the fighter planes that were used during the time of World War I. I want you to put it right here. You can take it either one, right here. Alright? Read that again,
Okay. Verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth.
In other words, if the smoke was rising in the air, how else could anything come out of it unless it was flying, unless it had aerial abilities? So it's telling you, it's talking. Now I'm going to show you why it says a locust. Read on down. Listen, let's do this. Can you ban in Rashwan and get both of these, the locust and them? Now when you look at, remember, John the Revelator, 2,000 years ago, is telling us, he's he's relating to us a vision that he got, and he's seeing things that they didn't have back then. So in order for us to understand what he's saying, he's relating it to things that they did have back then, that it could at least, even if only vaguely, have similarities. So when you look at the structure of a biplane, it looks like the structure of a locust. You got the biplane's got the 2 sets of wings. All right, look at the locust. 2 sets of wings. They have a fuselage. That's the part of the plane that's referred to. That starts off kind of like a worm and diminishes. It tapers at the end. Look at the anatomy of a locust. The actual body is like a fuselage that starts off thick like a worm and it tapers at the end. Now that's what he was talking about, flying through the smoke. Because in many cases they were dropping bombs once you get to the first bombing actually took place in the how would you call it? In the Turco-Italian War, when the Italians were actually taking Tripoli. That was where the planes were first used to bomb, to be used as aerial bombs. But, okay, read on down on the exercise.
Verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth.
Now, it's talking about this. Go ahead.
And unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth.
Now check this out. As what?
As the scorpions of the earth.
As the scorpions of the earth. Now what type of power do scorpions have? Scorpions have a stinger that's in the back that they use. You can see this scorpion right here. It's as though he knew he was having a picture taken of him. He's postured to strike. Because what they do, you can put the thing on me. They have a stinger that they come over their tail from behind, and they back away and they strike their opponent from here. This is what a scorpion does. And you can see them in that posture. You can get back to them later. Hold up. They'll raise up and they'll be in their battle mode. They'll be hunched up on their legs and they'll be popping there. You know what I mean? Popping them with that venom. So now how can we equivalent that to the fighter planes? Let's go and check it out. If you could get a close-up on this one right in the middle, you can see the depiction of the biplane. It actually had a pilot, and then it had a rear gunner, as they were called. Like back in World War II, they actually had underneath the fuselage, they had what you call a ball turret gun with a whole thing oscillating for fire. But you see the gunner back here doing what? Now this is the actual rendition of this plane right here. And not only did it have a rear gunner, it shows you on top, the top set of the wings. The second set of the wings. You got the set at the base and the set at the top. It has a machine gun. As if what? As if it was a scorpion tail hidden from the top. Hidden from the top, just like a scorpion. Read that verse again, brother.
Verse 3. And they came out of the smoke.
And then you can put it on this here. If you can go ahead and get this whole square in. Alright? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth had power.
Exactly. In other words, the scorpions have stingers, but these were what? Those were gunners. Continue.
Verse 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree.
In other words, this wasn't the destruction of the earth that was taking place. This was what? This was a combat. This was about destroying multitudes of men. Go ahead. Listen, the reason I say that because the last World War is about the trees. It is about destroying the earth. That's what the Most High said. He's going to destroy them that destroy the earth after they do. He's going to destroy them in the process. Go ahead.
But only those men which have not the seal of God in their forehead.
It's talking of the seal of God is talking about the knowledge of the Most High. And that's talking about, let me say this. It's talking about the Edomite nation. During that whole ordeal, what was the result? Let me come here so you can see it on the camera. When we look back historically, what was the end result of World War I. You had 3 of the major European houses taken down. You had the House of Romanov, or the Romanov dynasty, taken down in Russia. You had the house, or the family, or the House of Habsburg that was taken out in Austria-Hungary, and all of their other little thrones that they sat on. Then you had I don't even know how to pronounce this with the Germans, let me say this. Then you had do you know the German, how the German is called? I know how to spell it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I have to write it down. Anyway, I'll get into it later. If you look at the German name, how is it? It's Hohenzollern. It's hard as hell for me to pronounce the German family house. But at any rate, let me see. Maybe I haven't written it down. How do you pronounce that? Hohenzollern.
Yeah.
Is that Hohenzollern? Have you ever heard of Hohenzollern? Do you know how to read? You used to sing that German song. Do you know how to read any of it? Like just a word. Okay, huh? Yeah, but that's the Hohen, Hohenzollern. Anyway, the House of Hohenzollern. I hope we ain't got no Israelites out there that's born in Germany that's gonna get all offended because you know what I'm saying? That's because I couldn't speak German. But anyway, when it says the seal of those that don't have the seal of the Most High, it's for the most part talking about the Edomite nation. And the end result was those were the families that were taken down. And many of those kingdoms, once the war broke out on many areas, revolutions within the kingdom broke out also, like Russia. Russia was the ally for Serbia. It was back in Serbia. And then Germany, who was it? Germany was fighting a Western front. They were fighting France and Britain on the Western front and needed a break. So they somehow got Vladimir Lenin released. Remember, Russia underwent 2 revolutions. One was in like 1909 or 7. It was either 1907 or 1909, and it failed. The Bolsheviks tried to take him down. So this cat is in prison, and I forgot what country. You can look that up. But during the course of World War I, the guys from Germany got him released so that he could go back to his hometown and create a second revolution, which pulled Tsar Nicholas II his attention back to what? Domestic. In other words, the Russians pulled out of the war before it was over because the second revolution broke out. The outturn of that was Tsar Nicholas II and his wife and all the family, his sons and daughters, got executed under the commands of Vladimir Lenin, and Russia became what? A socialist nation, a socialist country. That was when the Bolsheviks took over. That eventually gave way to Stalin, Joseph Stalin. You had Trotsky, you had Lenin. In other words, this is all the stuff that was taking place within the Edomite nation. It turns out Tsar Nicholas was actually cousin to Wilhelm. Kaiser Wilhelm, those cousins, man, first cousins. And Kaiser literally Wilhelm got Lenin out of prison to go and take his own cousin down. And when you see photos of these dudes, they look like twins. They look like twins. These were all family houses or dynasties and houses, royal houses that did what? That intermarried. They still do it today. So, what verse you had, brother? That was verse 4?
Yeah.
Read it again.
Verse 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree.
Go ahead.
But only those men which have not the seal of God in their forehead.
So it's talking about a battle that ensued between the Edomite nations and all of their ruling families. And let me say this, don't be mistaken. This was not about war. It wasn't a war of simple power. It was a corporate overthrow. That's what the First and Second World War was. All you got to do is, if you go and research the history and aside from the signing of treaties and the indemnities that had to be paid, you got to look at what territories and what holdings were shifted to who. That's all that World War I and World War II was, and really that's what World War III is in the making. It's really about corporate. It's going to be an attempt to have another hostile corporate takeover. All right. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months.
When it says not kill them, a lot of people got killed during